Hello again, thanks for joining. Yes, we're back on the Fleischmann again, but this time it's a steam locomotive. It's a Class 064, a 262 tank engine from the DB. This one is number 4064 in the Fleischmann catalogue, and it hails from a time when Fleischmann made HO models. They don't do that anymore, they just make N-scale stuff, which is kind of a bit sad, I think. I've always really enjoyed seeing Fleischmann's steam locomotives, and I'm hoping this one is going to be up to the usual standard. Let's get it out and we'll check it out. So as usual with Fleischmann models, you get a little leaflet inside, and this shows you how you can take this model apart. It seems to be just one screw and then it just comes apart quite easily. Looks like we've got some lighting on here, and then it gives you information about how to oil this and service it. And on the back, as normal, we have about the little stud that Fleischmann locomotives had that operated other line-side accessories. And here we've got how to clean your track and how to put power onto your locomotive. And here is the model out of the box. It does look really appealing straight away. It's a lovely looking tank engine, but let's have a closer look. Well, this locomotive having the chimney step back a little bit from the smoke box door really gives it a lot of character, and it makes it look a bit quirky. I really like that look though. At the front of the locomotive we've got some lamps which are detailed really nicely. I think they might actually be illuminated as well. I'm not quite sure, but we'll give it a try on the test track in a little while later in this video. The buffers have white surrounds which are getting a bit worn now. This is a second-hand model. I got it as part of a job lot with a whole bunch of other Fleischmann stuff, so I'm hoping it's still going to be running good, but I guess it would be called a vintage model these days. It's got the typical Fleischmann coupling out the front, which is cantilevered. It's just attached to the chassis, but it does look rather big. But the red applied to the buffer beam looks good, and we've got some rivet detail there, as well as these steps coming down too. This is actually a metal piece, as is all the chassis. We've also got some red here applied on these little steps going up to the smoke box, and the door there looks really good. Looks like we might have some lighting at the top there too, and the numbers printed very clearly on the front there. As we look down the side, the boiler has got a lot of detail moulded into it. All the pipework there is part of the boiler moulding. It's not extra parts, but this part here is an extra part. But it does look really good. These domes look good as well. Got a bell there, and we've got the whistle up here. And I think that is an extra part that's been added on, as is this part here. It's quite plain on the side of the tanks though. A couple of steps here and a little indent here. And on the top there's no rivet detail. We just got a couple of hatches. The hatches actually look pretty good though. The cab has some rivet detail which has been moulded in, as well as these lovely handrails, and also the printing of the DB, and the number is very clear in white on the black. The handrails aren't wire on this one, it's just part of the main moulding, and it kind of suffers a little bit just above the DB logo. That handrail there looks a little bit flat in my mind. We've got some more steps here and some more printing. It's actually very small, I can barely see it with the naked eye, and I'm not sure it's quite that clear. Now we do have flush fit glazing on this window, but I'm sure you can see already the big red motor inside here. Typical kind of Fleischmann pancake style motor, and for some reason they've just left it red instead of painting it black, so there's no missing it inside there. So no interior detail, which is a bit of a shame I think. And just looking at the red area, we've got some pipework moulded in here. This is part of the main moulding and has been masked off and painted red, which has been done really well. Although there is a little bit of an overspill here at the side of the door. But this box looks really good at the back with the rivet detail on it, and the steps are pretty good as well. But you can see that some of the paint has come off the bottom of this step, so some of the black is showing through. I guess that's just with age. The pistons at the front here, this little plastic moulding, and we have a full metal valve gear. Has a bit of a movement on it, as typical with Fleischmann models, but I think it should be okay. I really like the inserts done in red. They've been done really well. And the wheels also have red inserts, although this one here does look like it might have been repainted at some point, or else if it came out the factory like that, it's a bit odd, it's a bit different from the rest. We've got brakes in line with the wheels as well, very close too, they look really good. And the front pony truck here has got some details on it. This is actually made of metal, and the wheel on it is metal with red insert too. You can even see some additional detail on the chassis just above here as well. The rear pony truck is also made of metal and also has some details on it, including the brakes, which look great, and the wheel again is made of metal. Just looking underneath, you can see the Fleischmann logo there, made in Germany. We've got metal gears on these three wheels, so they're all driven. And here's the stud as well that I mentioned about in the instructions. Just on the side of the front pony truck, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it looks as though it is also picking up from the pony trucks too. At the back, we've got a very typical bunker here with a fair representation of coal, and I've just noticed on the roof it's got a very strange bit here which looks a bit kind of polished, or maybe it's got some gloss varnish on it for some reason, but you can see some really subtle rivet detail up here which looks great, and there isn't any moulding mark on top of the cab, although you can see a moulding mark running down the length of the boiler, which is really my pet peeve. I don't like seeing that. I think it could have been done a bit better. Again, we've got buffers with the white surrounds, but it's coming off quite a bit now. The red on the buffer beam looks great, and this box here also looks great. Looks like we've got 3 lights, and these ladders are also really good. They're actually made out of metal, and their extra parts have been added on. No real difference on this side of the locomotive. You can see a bit more detail here, which are extra parts in plastic, and also you can see here where the motor is. It's just no getting away from the fact that there's a big motor inside the cab, which is a real shame. But aside from that, I think this is a really good looking locomotive, and I'm hoping it's also going to be a good performer. So let's get this on the test track and we'll see if it runs. So as usual, this is the Hornby third radius track I always use in these videos, and also I'm using my H&M controller as normal. It's just 12 volts DC. Let's give it some power and see what happens. Well, this model runs absolutely perfectly, absolutely no problems whatsoever. I put it on the track, gave it some power, and off it went. And it crawls along at a really good speed too. I did notice that the lighting on the back works, but the lighting on the front doesn't, so I'm guessing the bulbs may be blown. But aside from that, this is held up really good. Even though it's an older model, it still runs perfectly today. So I'm interested to find out how much it weighs, so let's get it on the scales and we'll see how much. So this model weighs 361 grams. So Fleischmann's Class 064 tank engine, I think, is really a nice model. There are a couple of things that let it down, and I'll come to that in a minute, but some of the things I like on this model include the offset chimney, which gives it a whole bunch of character. It's got a lot of detail, especially around the front. I really like those lamps. And the valve gear works really great. The red inserts look fantastic. It's even got metal ladders at the back, and overall the look is really great. But what is letting it down, I think, the biggest thing, obviously, is the motor inside the cab. I guess it was a limitation of the mechanisms that they were using at the time, but they could have at least painted it black to just dull it down a little bit, and maybe just a plastic cover over the other side of the motor would maybe help to disguise it a little bit. As it stands just now, it really spoils the illusion of this model. And also don't really like the big coupling hanging out the front of these locomotives. I guess you could take it off and just run it with the rear one. But being a tank engine, you would expect this to run in both directions. So I don't know, I guess you've got to keep it. But it does kind of spoil things at the front. But aside from that, what you get here is a fantastic little locomotive which has a lot of character and performs really well as well. These are older models, but I think they still stack up by today's standards. They've got a lot of detail, nice metal chassis, good mechanics, and they come in at a great price on the second-hand market. So I would recommend this locomotive, but then I'm biased, I really like Fleischmann stuff. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, it really helps this channel. I'll put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around. Thanks for checking it out with me, really appreciate your company, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model train, model world, choo choo, model train, tiny world.